All right, let's dive into a really powerful idea from entrepreneur Raj Shamani. It's all about one simple thing, taking those amazing ideas you have and actually making them real. It's a whole philosophy centered on building, not just talking.
So let me just ask you, have you ever felt that, stuck? Your head is buzzing with dreams, you've got notebooks full of plans, but you're just kind of waiting for the stars to align, for the right resources, for that perfect moment that, let's be honest, never really shows up.
And that feeling, that waiting game, it leads us right into our first big problem, what we're calling the one-day delusion. It's that cozy little trap we set for ourselves, promising we'll get started, one day.
To really get this, let's meet a guy named Raghav. And Raghav is probably a lot like you, a lot like me. He's sharp, he's got ambition, and he's got this incredible idea for a business. He spends all his time watching motivational videos, scrolling through success stories, totally convinced he's going to change the world.
And this is his daily loop. He watches, he scrolls, he tells his friends about the huge things he's going to do, he writes down more plans, but at the end of the day, he hasn't taken a single real-world step. He's become an expert at consuming other people's success instead of creating his own, all because he's waiting for that one day.
So, how do you break out of that loop? Well, that brings us to the absolute core of this whole explainer. It's a simple, but honestly, life-changing shift in how you think.
And boom, there it is. This is the wake-up call. The world doesn't need your ideas, it needs your work. It's not about having the most perfect, polished plan, it's about actually producing something. This is the sentence that hits Raghav, and maybe you, like a ton of bricks.
And this chart just lays it all out, right? You've got two paths. The talkers, they're stuck, waiting for perfection, waiting for everyone to tell them their idea is amazing. But the builders, they start messy. They start with what they have. They just focus on taking one tiny step, then another, creating real value with their actions, not just their words.
So what does Raghav do? He takes that first, ugly, imperfect step. No fancy gear, no pro lighting, no amazing script. He just grabs his old phone, points it at his face, and starts. Was it good? Nope, not at all. But it was real. He had finally started building. So what happens when you actually start building? Well, you pretty quickly figure out something massive about the world we live in today. Think about it like this. A degree might get you an interview, but a skill lets you build your own company. In this day and age, what you can actually do is so much more valuable than a piece of paper that says what you've studied. The work you put out there, that's your real resume. And this is the magic formula for building those skills. Just look at Raghav's loop. He didn't sign up for some crazy expensive course. He just learned a little something on YouTube, tried to apply it, and was pretty bad at it at first, noticed what was wrong, and then just did it again, trying to get one tiny thing better. That's the engine of growth. It's just a simple cycle of doing, learning, and repeating. Okay, so let's be real. When you start building, you are going to stumble. You're gonna fail. And how you decide to look at that failure, well, that changes everything. So after weeks of just grinding it out, it happens. One of Raghav's videos just takes off. Over 100,000 views. He's on top of the world. He's thinking, this is it. I finally cracked the code. I've made it. And then, this. His very next video gets a whopping 12 views. 12. All that momentum, gone. The high just evaporates, and he's absolutely crushed. And this is that moment, right? This is where most people quit. But here's the big mindset shift. Failure is not who you are. It's not an identity, it's just information. It's data. That viral video told him what connected with people. The flop told him what didn't. Both are just feedback. The secret is to stop taking it personally and start using it as a blueprint for what to build next. Okay, so you're building, you're learning from your failures. What's next? Well, you can't do it all alone. You've got to find your people. This is so important. We hear the word networking, and we think of it as this cringy transactional thing. But it's not. It's about your energy, your passion, your authenticity. When you show up as your real self, you attract people who get it, and that's where the real magic, the real collaboration happens. So Raghav completely changed his approach. In his videos, in his comments, everywhere. He just dropped the act, he stopped trying to be this perfect, polished expert, and just started being himself, sharing his screw-ups along with his small wins. And that's when he found his community, including another creator who eventually became his business partner. And this all brings us to the final and I think the most powerful idea. This is about tying this entire journey together and figuring out what it's all for.
I mean, just look at the journey. Raghav went from being a passive dreamer, totally paralyzed by the idea of one day, to an active builder. His legacy isn't some huge, far-off dream anymore. It's the sum of all the small things he is building, right now, today.
So that brings everything right back to you. The world really doesn't need another great idea sitting in a notebook. It needs your work, no matter how small or how imperfect it is to start. So the only question left to ask is, what are you going to build today?